Hello friends, welcome back to cytology. Today we will deal about cell wall which is present in the plant cell and bacterial cell. As you know that this cell wall is absent in the animal cell. Cell wall itself is a non-living structure, is very rigid and maintains the shape of the cell. It acts as a boundary of plant cells. In case of animal, plasma membrane acts as a boundary. This cell wall is made up of from cellulose, which is a polysaccharide from the carbohydrate. In addition to cellulose, there are hemicelluloses, pectins, lignins, cutins, chitins, which occur as a separate layer or they are merged along with the cellulose. They also contain the minerals of carbonate and silicates of calcium and magnesium. Cellulose is a polysaccharide and abundantly occurring chemical substance in most of the cell walls. Chemically, this cellulose is made up of long chain of glucose molecule, and therefore glucose is the structural unit of cellulose. Hemicellulose is composed of monosaccharide units like arabinose, xylose, mannose, and galactose. Pectin is chemically composed of glucuronic acid and galactouronic acid. Chemically, lignin is composed of coniferyl alcohols. Cutin, which is a waxy substance composed of fatty acids. It is associated with cellulose and pectose and forms a layer which is called as a cuticle, which is usually present on the in the leaves as well as stem. Suberin is also a waxy substance or waxy in nature and is deposited on cork cells, and it is impervious to water. These cork cells are usually produced during the secondary growth in the while the formation of peridium. Chitin is a polymer of glucosamine. Mucilage is present in the cell wall, is also a slimy substance, and chemically it is a complex carbohydrate. This mucilage absorbs water and also retains water for longer time. Mineral substances are crystals of silica, calcium oxalate, and calcium carbonate. Cell wall of majority of the fungi is made from chitinous substances. Next one is the structure of the cell wall. As you know, the chemically this cell wall is a complex structure and differentiated into three layers: primary cell wall, secondary cell wall, and tertiary cell wall. But before going to see the layers, one must know about the middle lamella. Middle lamella is nothing but the intercellular space between the cell. Okay, so the cells of a plant tissue are connected or cemented by means of intercellular substance or intercellular matrix, and this matrix is known as a middle lamella. So this is one cell, this is another one cell. Both these cells are connected together by means of this cementing substance, and this cementing substance is called as a middle lamella. Okay, it is composed of pectins and lignin. It consists a layer of intercellular substances or intercellular material, which is a viscous and jelly like substance and act as a cementing material between the primary cell walls of the adjacent cell. Okay, so you can observe this black region is the region of a middle lamella. This one will be the primary cell wall. Okay, this is a typical plant cell. Okay, this one layer is a cementing layer which is called as a middle lamella. Okay, this is a intercellular space present between two adjacent cells. After the middle lamella, there is a presence of a primary cell wall. Okay, so middle lamella will be the intercellular substance, then present primary cell wall. After primary cell wall, there is a secondary cell wall. This is the entire region of a secondary cell wall, and this secondary cell wall is differentiated into three layers. This is a outer one, this is a middle one, and this one is a inner. So outer secondary cell wall, middle secondary cell wall, and inner secondary cell wall, and the protoplasm which is present within the cell gets disappeared due to the presence of this secondary cell wall, and it forms a lumen in the center. See this one figure. This is a middle lamella, this central one, which act as a boundary between the two adjacent cells. This one will be the primary cell wall of adjacent cell. So this one is a primary cell wall. These are the secondary cell wall. This is outer one, this is middle one, and this one is the inner one. And in some gymnosperms, again tertiary cell wall is present below the secondary cell wall. So tertiary cell wall, if you see here, if tertiary cell wall present, this tertiary cell wall will be present at this place. Okay, primary cell wall. Just see what is the primary cell wall. This at the end of mitosis, prophase, metaphase, anaphase, telophase. After these stages, when cytokinesis takes place, after cytokinesis, there is a formation of a wall layer between the two separated cytoplasm. The newly formed cell is a primary. Newly formed cell wall is a primary cell wall. This primary cell wall forms the outermost layer of immature meristematic cells, then parenchymatous cells, collenchymatous cells, as well as sieve elements of phloem. This primary cell wall varies in thickness but normally does not show many layers. Comparatively, primary cell wall is thin, elastic, permeable, and allows transport of material in and out of the cell. Endocytosis or exocytosis occurs through the primary cell wall. Primary cell wall of epidermal cell of certain leaf and stem possesses cutin or cutin waxes, and such a cell wall becomes impermeable in nature, which is called as a cuticle. Chemically, this primary cell wall is made up of cellulose, hemicellulose, and pectic compounds. Primary cell wall in fungi is made up of a chitin. Secondary cell wall, in case of sclerenchyma, which is a mechanical tissue, and xylem, which is again the vascular tissue as well as a mechanical tissue. In a xylem, vessels and tracheids. Okay, the secondary cell wall is usually present. At maturity, protoplasm disappears due to the presence of secondary cell wall and cell become dead. At the center, it forms a lumen or cavity. The secondary cell wall is thick, inelastic, and impermeable membrane or impermeable in nature, and therefore it does not allow easy and free transport of material like the primary cell wall. In secondary wall, thin areas or openings are present which are called as a pit, and these pits are helpful in the transport of material. Secondary cell wall has three layers: outer layer, then middle layer, and inner layer. Outer layer is usually in contact with the primary cell wall, while the inner secondary layer is usually present in the center, which forms a lumen, a lining around the lumen. Secondary wall material in the tracheids and vessels of xylem always show inner thickenings, and these inner thickenings are present in the form of annular thickening, then spiral thickening, reticulate, pitted, or border repeats. So this one is a annular thickening. This one will become the primary cell wall, and these are the secondary cell wall thickening. So this is a annular thickening, this one is a spiral thickening, this one is a scalariform, reticulate, pitted, or this one becomes the bordered repeat. Chemically, this secondary wall is made up of cellulose, hemicellulose, lignin, cutin, suberin, and waxes. So these wall thickenings occur by means of such a type of chemicals. All these ingredients make this secondary wall impermeable to the water. So this is a simple pit structure. If you see here, this is a red color shows secondary wall, and this green one is a primary wall. Okay, primary cell wall, and this one is a secondary cell wall. At certain places, this secondary wall thickening is absent, and it shows a pit like structure, and this pit is called as a simple pit. Okay, so simple pits are actually not the hole or aperture or pore. Here only the secondary wall material is absent. Here only primary cell wall is present, and this primary cell wall is permeable in nature. Okay, so these are the simple pits. Along with primary and secondary cell wall, there is presence of tertiary cell wall also. In some gymnosperm stem, especially in Coniferophyta, in some gymnosperm stem, the cells have another cell wall below the secondary wall, which is known as a tertiary cell wall, and this cell wall consists of cellulose and xylem. Along with these, plasmodesmata are also present in the primary cell wall. Cell wall and middle lamellae, this is a intercellular space of a plant, do not occur as a continuous layer. Okay, but they have minute pores or aperture. Suppose one more cell is present here, this will become the intercellular space, and suppose this one act as a primary suppose this one act as a primary cell wall. Suppose this one is a primary cell wall, and this is intercellular space. This cell wall do not occur as a continuous layer, but it shows minute aperture, and these minute aperture present in the primary cell wall are called as a plasmodesmata. Okay, so the cell walls and middle lamellae of a plant do not occur as a continuous layer, but they show many minute pores called as a pits. Through these pits, cytoplasmic connections are established between the adjacent cells, and such cytoplasmic connections or bridges between the adjacent cells are called as a plasmodesmata. Okay, The next one part is a molecular organization or ultrastructure of a cell wall. As you know, the cell wall is made up of cellulose, and the structural unit of cellulose is a glucose 1. So primary cell wall and their molecular organization have been studied under electron microscope. Cellulose in primary cell wall is made up of polymer of a long chain of a glucose molecule. So this is a structure of cellulose, and these are the glucose units, and these glucose units are attached themselves to each other by means of beta 1,4 linkages. Okay, so this is a cellulose. Cellulose in primary cell wall is made up of a polymer or long chain of beta D glucose molecule. Glucose molecules have been connected to each other by means of beta 1,4 glycosidic bonds. Long chain of cellulose are unbranched and lie parallel to each other and bounded laterally by means of hydroxyl group, that means OH minus group. You see here, this is a one more figure. See here, these are bounded by means of a OH groups. So these cellulosic layers are bounded. Long chains of cellulose are unbranched and lie parallel to each other and bounded laterally by means of hydroxyl groups. A bundle of 100 chains of cellulosic molecule form the elementary fibril, also known as a myceli, which is about 250 angstrom in thickness. When 20 elementary fibrils are arranged parallel to form a bundle, it is called as a microfibril. The microfibrils are more compact and arranged in only a parallel fashion. See just here, this one figure. So this one is a structure of a cellulose. Cellulose shows the presence of macrofibril. Macrofibrils are formed from the microfibril. Microfibrils are formed from the elementary fibril, and these elementary fibrils are formed by means of a cellulosic layers. About 100 chains of cellulose when lie parallelly, then it forms elementary fibril, or this one is called as a myceli. Okay, when these elementary fibrils, about 20 elementary fibrils or myceli, lie together parallelly, then it produces a microfibril. Okay, so 100 chains of cellulose comes together and produce one elementary fibril. When 20 elementary fibrils comes together, then they produce microfibril, and a group of microfibril when comes together, it produces a macrofibril. This macrofibril is a structural backbone of the cell wall. Okay. So long chains of cellulose are unbranched and lie parallel to each other and bounded by means of hydroxyl groups. A bundle of 100 chains of cellulosic molecule form the elementary fibril, which is known as a myceli. When 20 elementary fibrils or myceli are arranged parallel to form a bundle known as a microfibril, the microfibril are more compact and arranged in a parallel fashion. These microfibrils form large sized bundles which are called as a macrofibril, and these macrofibrils form the backbone or framework of the cell wall. In secondary wall, non-cellulosic components like lignin and cutin are present as a filling material. Okay, hemicellulose form a connecting link between cellulose and non-cellulosic materials like lignin and cutin. So this one is the structure of a cell wall. Just see the functions of the cell wall. As in a plant cell, this cell wall forms the outermost layer. It will play a function of protection. So in plant cells, it provides protection to the protoplasm or inner part of the cell. Due to its rigid nature, cell wall gives mechanical support, strength, shape, rigidity and size to the plant cell. In higher plants having vascular system, cell wall acts as a skeletal framework of a plants. Due to its permeable nature, of course, primary cell wall, the cell wall allows free transport of material through it. Due to endoosmosis, the protoplasm becomes turgid, and due to turgidity, the cell wall exerts pressure on turgid protoplasm and it controls the entry of water inside the cell. Thus, cell wall protects the cell from the bursting one. Deposition of cutin, suberin, waxes makes the cell wall impermeable. Thus, it controls the transpiration and prevent desiccation of interior tissues. Cell walls impregnated with lignin and cutin become impermeable, and thus cell wall decides the life of a cell. So this is about the structure of the cell wall. Next one part we will see in the next video. Till then, goodbye.